All right. And we back with another episode of Hey, I'm Just Asking. And today, we want to ask, is Gene Deal's truth saving Biggie's legacy? Hey, let's start the debate. Gene Deal. Now, let's first start off with the narratives that they paint about Gene Deal. They say Gene Deal was only security. They say Gene Deal was only there as far as Big, the guy that Big got the Newports from. And they also say Gene Deal doesn't really have information about what was going on with Bad Boy. But what's so crazy about this? As I listen to Gene Deal, I have to say I disagree with those things just because from the situation that we know about Biggie, Gene Deal is the only one that brings fresh information. Information that you could only know if you knew the ins and outs of Bad Boy. Do I think Gene Deal knew the ins and outs of Bad Boy? To a certain extent, I believe he did. And with him speaking on the night Biggie passed, with him speaking on publishing indifferences and Big's future moves, I would have to say he knows a lot. And his truth hurts a lot of those false narratives. Or should I say, his truth kills a lot of those false narratives, man. Gene Deal told us, hey, at the time of Biggie's demise, he wasn't messing with Puff like that. Do I believe that? I can believe that because it might be business where you have to deal with your boss only because of you signed on the dotted line. But to say that Biggie and him were close friends, I would think not. Once you find out you have been bamboozled, you're gonna look at somebody different. And that's just in real life. If you feel as though somebody crossed you, but you love them, or you know that there's business involved, you might still continue with the business, but you're gonna look at them different. And with Gene Deal's truth, that's all he's basically saying is like, hey, look, Big knew the fix was in. And by him knowing the fix was in, he moved different. He didn't sign Little Kim and Little C's under Bad Boy. That was under Unreverber. Just so he could be able to eat on his own with the artists that he brought to the table. And that makes too much sense. Like, why, if I know you got me in the slave deal, I'm going to bring you extra money when it's my turn to eat. And his thing was he had to do it in secret because if he writes for Little Kim, if he writes for Little C's, Puff owns that because of the publishing company. So at least Big was smart enough to put his artists under different publishing and not take credit, not take the writing credits. So man, I'm feeling Gene Deal. Like a lot of stuff that Gene Deal says, man, it's like the extra pieces to the puzzle. You know how you could do a puzzle, but like all the immediate, especially like if you know what the picture is supposed to look like, you can actually start to form a picture with the knowledge that you already have, but it's those little pieces that's going to give you the most trouble when you're putting a puzzle together. This is sort of like Biggs and Puff relationship, according to Gene Deal. And I believe him after like everything that has come out. Like, man, Gene Deal has a lot of information that we wouldn't be privy to. And I see that for the most part, no one has challenged Gene Deal. You know, the only ones challenged Gene Deal was Death Row. And the only reason Death Row challenged that, I would assume, is because, hey, look, you doing your thing on the West, we're doing our thing on the East. Look, we're not going to see eye to eye if both camps are like, it's a rivalry between camps. We're not going to see things eye to eye unless it's the absolute truth. And even members from Death Row has stamped that he has said things that was right. So I don't know.